record. You guys should see a message saying that it's recording, hopefully. Did you guys get that message? Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's get started because I know we have 3 presentations. We are in week 5. So this term is going quick. We're over halfway through. Hopefully you guys are doing all right. Just not only this class, but other classes. But just make sure that, as we get closer to the end, that we're getting everything in. So let's go over quickly these assignments that we have to do this week. Biggest thing for the 3 people that are presenting, this is your chapter presentations. Okay, so the big thing with the chapter presentations, you need to summarize the topics of the chapter, the goals, grade levels that you're focusing on. You're going to present your activities. Okay, again, the one that you want us to participate in, you just need 1, but you can describe 4. Okay, so the other 3 kind of describe what would you do in a classroom with them, but you don't have to have us do anything. Obviously, being online, it's a little bit more difficult. You're going to make sure that I can see the Common Core state standards, grade level that you're doing, what type of assessments might you do with it, and then what kind of extension or remediation activities would you give for either gifted or struggling students. So I should see those things. Now, if you'll notice on Brightspace, the due date's not till the 25th because we have other people that are presenting. But if you present, make sure that you are turning that in as soon as you can. Okay, so once you've presented tonight, try to turn it in so that in whatever materials you used, that's perfectly fine by me. Okay, and that way I can kind of get a good look at it. I totally and completely understand if you're nervous, no worries. Again, I am not expecting perfection. You guys are learning how to do this. So don't feel like you have to have everything perfect. I have 25 years of experience, so I'm kind of used to this. I know that you guys don't. So please don't think that I'm going to be judging you on whether you got everything perfectly right. I honestly will not. That is not what I want to do. I want you to kind of get a feel for this. Okay. Also, make sure you do your discussion board post and responses. Hopefully, your initial post is coming either today or already has, and then respond to 2 other people by Sunday. Okay, so we've got through the majority of our big other assignments. This is pretty much what's left for each of the weeks. So just make sure that you're taking care of everything. We are meeting on campus next week. Okay, so next week we're on campus. And since we're doing 3 presentations this week, we're only doing 1 presentation next week unless someone else wants to go and get it over with. We can definitely take care of that way. But that's just kind of up to you guys. You got whoever is going that final, I think it's the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if you want to go earlier. That's perfectly fine by me. We'll just take care of it next week, and then we'll be all set. Okay. But just, again, make sure you're getting everything done. You're participating. And as long as you're doing that, we're going to be all set. Are there any questions from anybody? I just want to make sure. Yes. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
On the 22nd, is that one also a Zoom meeting or is that in person?
So the only other in-person one is next week.
Was the
Everything
15th?
else is
Okay.
Zoom. And I know we're not gonna. I don't plan on meeting the 29th.
Okay.
Because that's my school's graduation. Actually, my stepson's graduating, so I got to be there for that. So yeah, we're not gonna have a meeting that day, and the 22nd will be our Zoom one, and then next week is our in-class one, and that's pretty much it. Okay. So things have been going well. I really liked what I saw in terms of the minority mathematician. You guys did a wonderful job on that, so very impressed. Everything's been graded so far, so if you see any discrepancy in your grades, please make sure you check Brightspace and let me know. Talk to me, and we can figure everything out. If I made a mistake, I will more than happy to correct it. If I haven't made a mistake, you haven't turned something in, well, and that's kind of on you. You got to take care of that. Okay, so without further ado, who wants to be the first person?
Go. I don't mind going first.
Hold on, I unshared. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Who wanted to go first? I'm sorry.
I'll go. Oh, okay. She can go. I'll go second.
Okay, so who's who?
I'm Esmeralda.
Okay, Esmeralda, you're gonna go first? Okay.
Go
So let me make sure that you can share. You
Okay.
can click share screen and you have the floor.
Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to do it.
No worries, no
I'm
worries.
like, oh
That's
my
why we're
gosh.
learning this.
Oh, come on. It's not loading. Um,
Were you able to click the
just
share
kidding. No, it's because of where I'm at. Oh wait, hold on.
button?
Let me get it together really quick. I was waiting for you to do it. That's why, and I was like, okay, let me just. Okay. I'm entering in with my laptop. That's why,
Okay, no
because I'm
problem.
with my phone. Okay, so now I think I'm in. Is it going? Hello?
I can hear you.
Oh no, I'm talking to the computer. Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
technology can be one of those finicking things. So yeah, that happens all the time. I remember during COVID, oh my gosh, how many glitches and everything like that. I had to upgrade to like the highest internet, and even then I still had problems because I had two kids on the internet at the same time too. So no worries.
do you have to let me in? Because I'm logging on a different thing.
No, you're in. Let's see. No, you're in. You should be able to share it. Did you press the share button?
Let me just do it like this. Hold on.
And then you'll probably share a screen and then go from there.
Yeah, let me see if it'll let me just do it on here. Because if not, I guess Jasmine can go if I can't figure it out in like 2 minutes. I don't want to hold everyone back. Oh, okay. Allow to share screen.
Is it working?
I think it kicked her out.
I'm not sure. I don't know if it kicked your laptop out or not.
We can't hear you.
Esmeralda, you there? I can't hear you,
It's
Esmeralda.
just
We see that you're in the room. Um, okay. Uh, let's see. Jasmine, would you like to go first then?
sure.
Okay.
I get to go again.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, cool. I'll go.
Jasmine, are you able to share your screen so we can see the presentation?
It doesn't give me the option.
You don't have a bar at the button that allows you to share?
No, it just says participant, chat, reaction, AI companion, and then caption, settings, stop incoming video, and return defaults.
That's weird. Let's see. Do you have it now?
No.
Should be a green button, share.
Yeah, it's not there.
That's weird because I've got the settings to where you can do it.
Because I know when I logged into my phone, it was showing me, but when I logged into my computer, it stopped showing me.
Of course. Fun times with technology. Um, Let me try something. Let me share real quick and see. If then when I unshare, then it shows back up. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Does it show up on the menu now?
It does not.
You don't see the green button share?
No, it just says participant, chat, reaction, and AI companion still.
That is so weird. Did I see, does everybody not see a share button? I just want to make sure.
No, I have it.
Huh.
Should I try like
Is
logging out and logging back into the Zoom?
Let's do that for you because you should have that button. You should be able to share so that way you can show your screen and everything. So,
Okay. I'll be right back then.
okay, no problem.
if it doesn't work, I can go now again after because
If you're ready to
it's
go, we
my
can go. While she logs back in, that's not a problem.
okay. Let me share my screen. Share. Do you guys see it?
Not yet.
No. Okay, let me share my window. Share this window. Okay. Do you guys see that one, or do you only see yourself?
Now I see it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so can I go?
Go
Or do you
for it.
want me to wait for her? Okay. Okay, so I had chapter 7, developing early number concepts and number sense, and my name is Esmeralda, and this is for a kindergartner, not for you guys. So, but I was pretending like you guys were kindergartners. So the grade I chose to focus on was kindergarten. The Common Core standards were the decomposed numbers less than or equal to 10 in more than one way, understand the relationship between numbers and quantities, count to answer how many questions, and compare two numbers. The chapter goals and the topics, I put them together, but the goals were students will be able to show different ways to make a number up to 10 using objects, drawings, or fingers, and that's for the composing and decomposing. Students will be able to estimate and compare quantities to better understand the size of numbers, which is building number sense. And then students will be able to count a set up to 20 objects and state the total number, understanding counting and cardinality. Students will be able to compare two sets of objects up to 10 and describe the relationship using more, less, or equal, which is comparing quantities. For my first activity, it's called Build It and Break It. Students will use blocks to compose and decompose numbers up to 10. The materials needed is the compose worksheet, 2 different color stackable blocks, and a marker. Struggling students can be provided with a smaller number to start and extra support from teacher or aide. Advanced students will start with the higher number. So for example, if they're struggling, they could start with maybe 2 or 3. And then if they're a little more advanced, they could start with in the tens if they're able to do more.
I don't want to interrupt, but all we're seeing on the screen, it says click to exit full screen. Oh, there we go.
Oh. So you didn't see my whole thing?
We didn't see the
Okay.
first couple slides. It was just kind of a blurry screen. Yeah, I understand what you were saying. We just only didn't see like the whole thing. Okay.
Can you see these?
Now we can see it. Yes, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, this is for kindergarten, and these are the Common Core standards that I found for the a lesson, which was the decomposed numbers less than or equal to 10 in more than one way, understanding the relationship between numbers and quantities, and then count to answer how many questions, and then comparing two numbers. With those core standards comes with the chapter goals and topics. Pretty much saying students will be able to show different ways to make numbers up to 10 using objects, drawings, or fingers. Students will be able to estimate and compare quantities to better understand the size of numbers. Students will be able to count and state the total number, and students will be able to or equal. And you guys can still see it, right? Can you still see? Okay, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. will use stackable blocks, start and extra support from teacher and aide, can start with a higher number. And then I provide an example of like what the build and break it activity would be. For the number sense activity, it would be a matching card game. Students will match the tally marks, dot patterns, and numbers together to create a complete set and win the game and probably win something from the treasure box. But materials would be numbered cards, dot pattern cards, tally marks, and finger cards. Struggling students can be paired with a teacher aide or an advanced student. And then advanced students will just have additional cards to match. So it would include the word or whatever they meet. We could use extras. For activity 3, this one is students will form half circle in front of the board and will shout out what they believe the answers are. Teachers will then show the answer and explain why the answer is correct. An alternative, if the students are not wanting to really participate in this, is using the Chromebook. And I didn't put one for advanced or struggling students because this was more of like a mutual group, so they can either guide or follow along with the group. Some examples of this activity, this would be on the screen, and it would just be count the cows, how many are there, give them a minute, and then the next slide would be there are 6 cows, and then do a smaller number since I gave them the first example, have them do this on their own, and then they would tell me. The fourth one is the comparison activity, more or less equal. So students will be in pairs. They'll take turns pointing out 2 handfuls of objects and placing them on the comparison mat. I was going to use candy because I thought this was going to be in person. And then they compare which is more, which is less, or are they equal? And the materials needed would be candy, napkins, pencils, comparison mat, and then the mat would just be labeled more or less or equal, and the students would have to determine who had more and who had less, and if they were the same. And then for our activity, I emailed everyone just to tell you guys that we were going to do Kahoot. Let me see if I could just, and then let me put it in the chat. Oh wait, how do you do the chat? It's loading. I'm sorry. Okay, I only put 2 questions because I thought it was gonna be in person, and I'm sorry. But there's the link, and then here is the code. Well, the pin is popping up. So there's the pin, and now I'm just waiting for someone to join so we can answer our 2 questions. Thanks, Jasmine. Okay, I'm gonna start it. I just named it Kinder. But pretty much I just use Kahoot for the quizzes, and then I just put what number comes next with the image, and they would just have to determine what answer was next. This is showing cardinality.
I can't see. It says click the screen again.
I'm sorry?
Okay, there we go. Oh,
What did you say?
it just said click to exit full screen. No worries. Okay.
Again? Okay, did you see the game?
I'm seeing the game on yours.
Okay, Jasmine, you were correct. It is 4. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
get the answer.
Okay, and then the next one would just be how many pigs, and then this would just have them count for the how many questions for the course standard. Yeah, good job. You're fast. But yeah, that is mine. I just did 2 questions. I'm sorry for all the for all the challenges.
That's part of being a teacher. You're gonna have those challenges in the classroom. So that's that's nothing you're gonna worry about there in terms of that.
Okay, thank you. Well, that was my presentation, guys. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Okay, so that's one presentation. Who wants to go next?
I have the share button ready now.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Share. Whoa. So, I don't know how to do presentation here. So my chapter was on developing strategies for multiplication and division, from our book. And the grade level I'm going to be focusing on is third grade. The chapter summary for this chapter, it focuses on helping students build a strong conceptual understanding of multiplication and division. It uses a lot of visual models like arrays and models. It helps develop the strategies and the encouragement. It emphasizes the idea how the fluency is archived through understanding, not just through memorization and algorithms. Teachers are also encouraged to create learning environments that allow students to explore, discuss, and choose efficient strategies.
Jasmine, I hate to interrupt, but we're only seeing a black screen.
Oh, that's not good.
It's all right. Sometimes presentation modes, with computers don't go that great. So you may want to get out of that presentation mode and just show us the slides themselves.
Okay, is
Yeah.
that better?
Yeah, I can see that now.
Okay, well, this was my first slide.
Okay.
Um, for the chapter goals, it was enabling students to make sense of multiplication in various real-world contents. It also supported students in developing and using personal strategies to problem solve. It reinforces the relationship between division and multiplication using models and fact families. It prioritizes. Oh, there we go. It prioritizes strategy development and mathematical reasoning over rote procedures. The grade level I wanted to focus on was third grade, where multiplication and division come into core skills. In this grade, students learn to interpret multiplication and division in terms of equal groups, arrays, and repeated addition slash subtraction. It emphasizes it plays on developed fluency within the 100 and understands the properties of operation. It also focuses on these foundational concepts which help prepare for students that are for more advanced operations in later grades. Um, for my activity one, it would be like a digital array. I kind of did my activities based on us online right now. This isn't the one that I'm going to be doing, but I'll get there. For this one, it was my objective was to help students visualize multiplication using creative digital tools. And the platform I would probably use for this would be either Google Slides or Canva. It was basically giving students multiplication facts like 3 times 5, 6 times 3, and then they create like an array art by arranging shapes or stickers in rows and columns. Students would then present and explain how their array represents the multiplication fact. Students turn math into colorful designs, promoting creativity. The learning outcome I would want from this is understanding multiplication as groups of equal rows and columns. Okay, like that. Oh. For my activity two, it was virtual division stories. So the objective would be storytelling to understand division, and the platform I would use would be Flip, which was formerly known as Flipgrid. The activity description was more on creating a story problem, like 15 cupcakes shared among 5 friends, and it would continue on. They use virtual drawing tools or objects to model the problem and record a short video explaining their thinking. Students became more storytellers and explaining a video format. And the learning outcome I would want from this would be connecting division to real life scenarios through creative expressions, almost like the word problem we did a couple weeks ago. For my activity 3, it was a strategy sort escape room. The objective for this one was identify and match multiplication strategies through two problems. For my platform, I would probably use Google Forms in escape room format. This description through this one would be students progress through a digital escape room by solving problems using different strategies like doubling, repeated addition, fact families, and just different things like that. And then each correct match unlocks the next level. It's a game-based learning and a race to escape the room. The learning outcome I would want from this is recognition and application of multiple strategies for solving multiplication problems and not just always constantly wanting to step into your comfort zone, but to step out of your comfort zone as well. This is the game that we are going to be doing. I made a Kahoot. So, yeah. A little description on this one though is missing factor adventure game. The objective of this one is to strengthen understanding of inverse operations. I would use Kahoot, and I did use Kahoot for this one. I will put the code up right now for it. For the activity description, it basically you just play a quiz style game where they must find the missing factors, like what times 6 equals 24 and stuff like that. It does include bonus rounds with Fact Family. The learning outcome for this one would wanting to be practicing with missing factors and understanding the relationship between multiplication and division. Um, so if you guys wanted to go to Kahoot, I can pop up the thing and I'll wait for you guys to join. The code is 5395537. And it is just 10 questions. Can anybody tell me how many people I'm supposed to be waiting for?
There should be a total of 5, maybe 6. But whenever you're ready to get started, we can do that.
Okay, cool. I'll start it then right now. So question 1 is question mark times 5 equals 20. Triangle is 5, circle is 15, diamond is 4, and square is 3.
Sorry, can you say that one more time, the question?
Question mark times 5 equals 20. Okay. Oh, for that one person, you got it right.
It didn't show up on the screen. I just listened to what you said. For some reason, it didn't show up on your screencast.
Oh, is it still doing that?
I don't see it on there, but when you described it to us, I was able to pick an answer. So,
Okay. Can you see it now that I'm not in full screen? Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Next question. Question 2 is 36 divided by what equals 6? Triangle is 18, circle is 12, diamond is 4, and square is 3.
I don't think any of the answers are on there.
Oh. Oh, it's really not. I don't know what happened with that one. I'm sorry.
No worries. It's part of the game. We learn from doing.
Ah. Okay. 6 times question mark equals 36. Okay, the answer is for triangle, it's 4, circle 6, diamond is 9, and square is 7. Oh, good job. Question mark divided by 3 equals 9. Triangle is 30, circle is 6, diamond is 4, and square is 27. And then the next one is 3 times blank equals 18. Triangle is 3, circle is 6, diamond is 4, and square is 5. And then 49 divided by what equals 7? Triangle is 4, diamond is 7, circle is 10, and square is 9. Seven times question mark equals 21. Squares, oh, okay, that was fast. If 8 times 6 equals 48, then 48 divided by what equals 6? If 3 times 4 equals 12, then blank times 3 equals 12. And then the last question is, if 5 times blank equals 30, then 30 divided by 5 equals 5 and 5, 4 and 4, 7 and 7, or 6 and 6. And that was the game. I hope you guys had fun. Mr. G was placed as top one. He would probably get a goodie from something. But good job. Okay. Fix it. Okay. Can you guys see my presentation again?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool.
At least I can.
For my common core standards, I found that the interpret products of whole numbers as groups, quotients of whole numbers as equal groups, apply properties of operations as strategies to multiply and divide, fluently multiply and divide within 100 using strategies and understanding. These standards guide the development of fluency through understanding and strategic thinking. For my assessment plan, I kind of did both. I wouldn't know which one I would do specifically, but you're an example of both. For formative assessment, I would use an operation of I would not use. I would observe, do an observation of students' interactions during group work and or an exit ticket asking students to solve and explain a multiplication or division problem, or have students journal entries describing their preferred strategies and models. For a more summative assessment, I would either do a quiz that includes a mixture of multiplication and division problems, or a culminating task where students write and solve their own word problems using visual models. These assessments ensure that both procedures and conceptual understandings are measured. For me, I would like to do a formative assessment just because throughout the activity we kind of already did a quiz so to like base where that student is off of, so I can go based off of that. Um, for more advanced learners, I would challenge students with two-digit multiplication using the distributive property. I would let students identify and explore patterns in the multiplication or division table. Incorporate real life problem solving, such as planning seat arrangements or even event setups. For the students who struggle more, I would use concrete multiplicatives to support understandings of groups and arrays, reteach key vocabulary and model problems step by step, provide sentence systems to help students articulate their strategies, like I knew that because of this. Um, and then that was my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
And just like we're learning, technology can be finicky. But even when we're doing like online games like Kahoot, I mean, as teachers, we're going to make mistakes. So it's okay. That's okay to make a mistake and realize that maybe one of the questions didn't work. Not a problem. In fact, if the kids realize that, that's the best thing. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind. That's going to happen. I've made so many errors on so many presentations and stuff like that. It's going to happen. So just embrace it. No worries.
Yeah, I was looking through my presentation. I was like, I didn't know which has more like spelling errors, me talking or the physical presentation.
No worry, you did a wonderful job. And I think we have one more, if I'm not mistaken.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So just go share screen. I think it's this here. Okay. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay. So my presentation is going to be a lot different than the first two. When you said to create a lesson for a class, pick your grade, I took that more literally. So I actually like created a lesson and I thought I was going to be doing this in person. So everything that I have would be more like interactive with, I guess the students, which would be you guys. Here I have my slideshow. I'm going to just quickly do this, but again, mine is different and most of my presentation is as if you guys are the third graders yourselves and I'm walking you guys through things. Um, okay, so sorry. How do I put this in presentation mode?
You can go into where you see slideshow. You see the button next.
Oh, okay, yeah, something was hiding it. Presenter view.
I would do presenter view.
Okay. Okay. So, I did chapter 14, fractions. I picked third grade. It's basic understanding, representation, comparison of fractions. So let's begin. The goals for my class would be to recognize what a fraction is because third grade is when they are first introduced in the Common Core Standard. Prior to this, which I like, they already are familiar with greater than, less than, so then they move into fractions. So again, goals would be recognize what a fraction is in the first place, know the numerator, what it means, know the denominator, what that means, understand parts and wholes. That's a really big thing. Make sense of fraction parts and be able to form fractions from visuals and models that they're looking at. So here is my presentation as if you guys were third graders. What are fractions? What is a fraction? A fraction is a part of a whole. Example, pieces of a whole pizza or a whole pie. Sorry, Mr. Goggle, I have to move part of my screen off for a second.
No worries, no worries.
Okay. Oh, I can put on the bottom. Okay, there we go. A fraction is also part of a set. Example, if we had a dozen cupcakes. So some are blue and some are purple. Here on the pie, you can see that there's 4 slices. One is missing. Let's figure out what more of this means. Oh, that did not, hold on. Why? Just a second. Something messed up. Escape. For some reason, it skipped over a bunch of stuff. Oh. Sorry, this is supposed to be moved way down at the very bottom. Okay, I don't know how that happened, but that's weird. Let me make sure everything else is in order. Okay. Starting from here. Can you guys still see me?
Yep, we can see you.
Okay. All right, equal parts. So to name a fraction, you must have equal parts. What does that mean? Here we have 2 shapes. One is one of them, if anybody wants to answer this, does one of them have not equal parts, meaning are the shapes different sizes? I can't see the chat. Okay, the answer was yes, it was. And then the other one was equal to. Moving on, I guess. What does a fraction look like? So we have the top number as the numerator, the bottom number as the denominator. And in the middle is a fraction bar. What does each number mean? So, and then it just goes into, I know you guys all know this stuff. Numerator, number of items or parts of the whole. Denominator, total number that makes up the whole. And then I go into how do we read fractions? You have all the different things, and then I'm going to ask the kids, what pattern do you notice? And then have them see, oh, 2, and then here's 1/4 has a 4, 1/8 has an 8, 1/3 has a third, 1/6 has a 6 on the denominator. Parts of a whole. And then I would ask, I ordered 1 whole pizza. It was cut into 8 equal slices. I ate 2 slices. What fraction of the whole pizza did I eat? And then I would ask the kids, how many pieces of the pizza are there? And they would count them up. And then we'd say 8. And then he would say, and how many slices did I eat? And they'd say 2. So then I'd say, well, there's our fraction. I ate 2 out of the 8 pieces of pizza. So then more on parts of a whole, would talk about the different amounts, and then I would say how much is the shape, the red taking up of that circle? And hopefully some of them would yell at half of it or something like that. I'd say yes, 1/2. What about the next one? And then they would say a third. Or one out of 3. That's probably what they would end up saying. And I would say, how many are shaded in this next one? 1 out of 4. And then so on, 1 out of 5. I'm sorry, 1 out of 6, and then 1 out of 8. We'd move into parts of a set, and then I have some cookies, a visual for them. Bake 6 cookies, 5 cookies are chocolate chip, 1 cookie is peanut butter. How would you write the number of peanut butter cookies as a fraction? And then we would add up, okay, how many total cookies are there? Everybody would yell out and count 6, 6. So then I'd say, exactly. And then which one looks different? Looks like the peanut butter. And they would say, there's 1. And then I do that. So moving on, more parts of a set. What fraction of the boxes are yellow? How many squares are there altogether? Everybody would count, yell out 4. There's our denominator. And then how many are yellow? Everybody yells out 1 part of it. So there's the part that's yellow, the numerator. And then I have a worksheet that I would give you guys. it looks like that, and you guys would just have fun doing that. And for some reason I can't. There we go. So yeah, that would have been my presentation for you guys. Again, a lot different. I'm trying to find you guys again, your faces. I hate technology. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on. You are sharing. Can anybody still see me?
We can see the screen.
Okay. Okay, and so then I'm not sure how to get out of this. Cancel.
You
Why does
should
it keep wanting me to leave Zoom?
you should see maybe a little bar, like a red bar, if you move around a little bit where it says stop sharing. There we go.
Stop sharing. Okay. Okay. And then again, so that worksheet was what I was going to have you guys do. I had another one. My background's kind of blurred right now because I'm in my back. Well, hold on. Let me unblur my background. Can you see it better now? Is it better now? Kind of. I don't know. Anyway, I'll just describe it. The game was roll and color fractions. So I was going to bring dice for you guys, and each of you guys had a worksheet. And then you guys would have to roll the dice and then move up to a square and then solve the puzzle and then basically try to get all of it done. So it was a game where they were using dice and counting, but then also going into the fractions where they had to shade or color a certain portion out of it. It says 4 out of 4, 3 out of 4. 1 out of 2. And so there's different parts that way. I had another activity that I was going to do. So I have 4 activities. This is 1, 2. Okay, so then the other one that I had was making a pizza. So this one would have been really fun, and I, as a teacher, really love hands-on projects. I would probably make a really big deal about them making their own pizza as fractions, and so I had you guys have all these little individual cutout for you guys to glue and make your own pizzas. So then there was questions that came with it. You would have to feel like how much of your pizza has cheese on it, how much of it has mushrooms, and there's different cutouts you guys would put on there, and you basically would be designing your own pizza while learning about fractions, and then they create their own masterpiece, and then you can get like actual pizza boxes, and you can put visuals like on the inside of it. And it just be something really fun that they would do, and it's something relatable that they can understand. And everybody likes pizza. You can even do a pizza party afterwards. But pizzas, pies, parts to a set like cupcakes, things that they can relate to and understand, and visualize when they're learning about fractions, I think is the best thing. For the more advanced students, I would probably just challenge them more as far as doing like online activities and things like that. The students that are probably need a little bit more help, I would work more individually with and take a little more time. And I think visuals and hands-on things, I forgot what they're called. There's a word for it, but it's like manipulatives or something like that. Anything like that that's hands-on and visual, I think all learners in math do really well on, but like it just helps enhance the learning experience for kids who may be struggling, because I think sometimes they need the extra like real hands-on things. I think that's it for my my presentation would have been way better in person. And again, I went really literal with you said make a lesson, so that's what I did. But these do cover all the Common Core standards, again, chapter 14. And I think my methods, they would definitely be understanding what a fraction is, parts and wholes, and be able to form their own when they see visuals and models. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a Kahoot game too, if we want to play that.
Well, you had 3 activities. I was waiting for the
Yeah,
fourth. So.
yeah. Here, let me share that real quick. Copy. Okay. Paste.
That's just going to get us to where you create it. If you share your screen again and
Oh,
put the join code on, we'll join it.
okay. Uh, okay, and then here.
You don't want to share it, so you close out of that. You want to start the game.
Right. And
The bottom says maybe later.
how much of my screen is, oh, there, yeah. It says cover, it's like covered, so. Would it be under my profile?
Um, Either that or host your first Kahoot.
Did you make your own Kahoot?
Yeah, just now, but I use the free
I used that
version.
one too. If you go to the link where you made your Kahoot, there should be a thing where it says start your Kahoot, and so wherever you made it, it should
Okay,
under. Let me see. It should be
let
I
me,
think it's home. When you click on home on the side, I think that should have all your projects.
okay.
You see the home on the left-hand side?
No, I'm a little frustrated, sorry. How do I get back to so the link, actually, let me see if I can do this.
You go
I
that.
think this is that was not the link.
So go click back.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find that link again. I can't get back into Zoom for some reason to look at the chat. Okay. Okay, I'm in Kahoot. So,
And then just click host live
okay.
and then start.
Oh, okay. Oh, hi guys. All right, we got three. Is that good?
Give it a second, see if there's anybody else that can get on. Just checking if Carla and Esmeralda can get on or not.
I don't know if this helps anybody, but it's easier to use your phone and just scan the QR code kind of at the top of the screen. It'll just take you right to it and you can join that way. Unless you're using your phone for Zoom. I don't know.
Well, we can get started so that way.
All right. If a whole pizza has 8 slices and you eat 4 of them, what fraction of the pizza did you eat? You ate half of it. That's kind of misleading because 4 out of 8. Both are right, but right. Next. Oh, which of these answers is a fraction? Good job, guys. What is the top number in a fraction called? Which of these answers is equal to 1 whole? What is the bottom number of the fraction called? All right, you guys are brilliant. Good job. 4,719 points, Dr. G. Okay. And I'll do stop share. Okay, now I think that's it for my presentation. Sorry, it's still playing the music in the background.
No worries, no worries. Great job. Applause for all of you guys that have presented tonight. You guys all did a wonderful job. Even having to adapt on the fly, and that's part of teaching. Trust me, there's a lot of adaptations, especially when you try to use technology and then technology doesn't work. So no worries there. I thought everybody did a wonderful job. So for you three that have presented, make sure to submit on Brightspace. Make sure you submit your presentation. That can be in a format, either PDF or you can submit the presentation itself. I don't know if you can attach Canva. I'm not sure. If not, just download it as a PDF or some sort of presentation so I can see it. Make sure it has all the things that's listed. You know, what would you do for uh, remediation? What would you do for advancement? And make sure you have the Common Core standards. Otherwise, you've done all the activities. So I can see all 4 activities we participated. That's not an issue. Other than that, you guys did a wonderful, wonderful job. So next week, we are going to meet in class, 5 o'clock on the campus. We have right now 1 presentation, unless other people, we got 3 other total presentations. If anybody else wants to go, just come prepared. And that way we could take care of it in class. A couple things that go along with that. If you need any printouts done, let me know. Since if you're presenting in class, make sure you send me the presentation so that I can put it on the screen. It's a little bit different than this about sharing screens, so make sure you send it to me. Okay, so as long as you do that, that's perfectly fine. And then we should be all set. We should make him participate in class now. Uh, Hi there. Hey, how you doing? But yeah, again, everybody did a wonderful job. Very impressed. You guys took a chapter and you had to break it down. And I loved what I saw. I love the activities. Again, I do high school, but you guys were doing 3rd grade and kindergarten. I can see where that would work in all of those classrooms. So again, really, really good job. So again, next week we're meeting. Make sure you do your discussion board posts. If you check your grades, make sure everything's right. If something's not right, let me know so that way I can take care of it. But other than that, we should be good to go for tonight. So thank you to all those that presented. You did a wonderful job. I'm very impressed. Let's keep up the good work for the last couple of weeks and we should be all set. If you have any questions, I'll stay on for anybody. But outside of that, we're good to go.
So for next week, I know we're supposed to be in person, and I know we have one presentation. How would we go about doing the activity for me? I just like listen in or
You'll listen in and whatever you can do to participate, like in the chat, you'll do.
okay.
I understand your situation is a little bit different than everybody else's. But yeah, you'll log in. I'll make sure you have uh the link. I'll make sure to post that, and you'll get on. And that's why I need someone to, if they're presenting, they got to give me their presentation first, so I can put that on the screen, and we'll be all set. Yeah, you just participate by either responding verbally or responding in the chat, and we'll see that on the screen.
Got it. Okay. Have a nice day.
You too.
Oh, also, happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Duh.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just so next week I won't be able to make it to class because my kids have their open house at 5:30
Okay.
and my husband's working and I'm the only one that can be there for them. So that's why I moved my presentation up a week. But is that okay or
I mean, if you, I'll post the link for Zoom. So if you want to like be at the open house and be on Zoom and at least participate that way, that's another way we could do it for sure. That way you don't
okay?
lose out on the participation points and everything.
I just feel bad because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to interact and participate because they're going to be showing me all their stuff and
I understand that. Trust me, I get that. If you can try to do a little bit, at least I could tell that you're there, then we'll be.
okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry, I feel like my presentation kind of sucked.
No, you did a wonderful
I'm
job.
not good at all the online stuff right now.
No,
So
you did a great job.
thank you. Thank
That's
you.
not about you is on your presentation when you submit it. Did you put the Common Core state standards on
Not in depth, but I saw the other two, so I'll go back and edit mine and then put that all in there.
there? As long as you do that,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, thank you.
activities were great. Talking around was great. No problems whatsoever.
Okay. Yeah, the activities would have been a lot more funny and fun in person, but it's all right.
It always is, and unfortunately we couldn't do it, but that's no big deal.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Hold on, bud. Bye.
Bye.